afternoon and welcome to Science Weekend 1 p.m. news. It's Saturday the 18th of November 2023. Here we are ready to update you with the latest stories from our newsrooms this hour. This is Chris Mololo and our sign language interpreter is Tobias Omondi. Let's begin. President William Ruto has countered Raila Odinga's criticism of the government's alleged involvement in a petroleum procurement scheme with Saudi Arabia. Speaking during the final day of the National Executive Retreat in Nairobi, Ruto clarified that the government acts as an underwriter, not a broker, in the oil procurement process, ensuring smooth transactions. He accused the opposition of reaching for unsubstantiated claims to find faults within his administration. Opposition leader Raila Odinga had previously asserted that the Kenya-Saudi deal was kept secret to inflate fuel costs, benefiting undisclosed government figures, and that the agreement was signed by the Energy Ministry and Middle Eastern state-owned companies, not directly with the UAE or Saudi Arabia.
Purpose of government in that agreement, in that MOU, is not so that we sell oil products. The only purpose of government is twofold. Number one, to guarantee international oil companies that they can extend product to Kenya for 6 months, and that after 6 months we are going to pay. And we have kept our part of the bargain. We have made sure that they are paid their money by the oil marketing companies in Kenya. Number two, we gave them the guarantee that dollars will be available for them. The government of Kenya was going to make sure. We have made sure that that is the case. The rest is private business. The international oil companies sell fuel directly to oil marketers in Kenya. So the entire process is private sector led, private sector driven, between international oil companies and our oil marketing companies in Kenya. Our business as government is to underwrite that this transaction will not go haywire, that the credit facility extended to us, the government of Kenya, will backstop. It is working or not. I want to challenge the speculators and the agents of the cartels to go and speak to the oil marketing companies in Kenya, to go and speak to the players in Kenya, instead of the speculation, rumor mongering, scamming that is going on.
Moving on, President William Ruto yesterday presided over the first graduation ceremony at the National Defense University Kenya in Lanet, that's Nakuru County. The event marked the conferment of certificate degrees and diplomas. Key dignitaries present included Chief of Defense Francis Ogola, Cabinet Secretary for Defense Eden Duale, Nakuru County Governor Susan Kihika, among others. NDUK, now the first specialized degree awarding research institution in Kenya, trains security professionals and civilians. It serves as the umbrella institution for 7 constituent schools, including the National Defense College, Joint Command and Staff College, Kenya, Military Academy, Defense Forces Technical College, International Peace Support Training Center, Defense College of Health Sciences, and the National Intelligence and Research University College.
Your Excellency, this institution is also a platform for multidisciplinary dialogue which aims at finding solutions to contemporary and emerging challenges globally. I encourage the university to continue through the security spectrum to make it a solid source of knowledge which contributes to policy and strategy development across our ministries, departments, and agencies.
The definition and understanding of security has expanded far beyond its traditional scope to encompass greater understanding of the citizen needs, citizen interests, and environment. This paradigm, therefore, recognizes the well-being and safety of people, which is the essential obligation of all states, extend beyond the defense of territorial borders.
Director General of Police Japheth Koome and Director of Criminal Investigation Mohamed Amin have been ordered by Justice Chacha Mwita to appear in court on Monday, that's November 20th, 2023, in connection with the reported abduction of Osman Khalif, a personal assistant to Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja. The court demands an explanation regarding Khalif's whereabouts since his alleged kidnapping at Sarit Center on November 10th, 2023. The summons followed non-compliance with court orders as recorded by the Law Society of Kenya, that's LSK President Eric Theuri, along lawyers Duncan Okach and Oringo Waswa representing Osman Khalif. According to LSK, Osman, a Nairobi County employee, was abducted a week ago while in the company of his wife, who was left at the parking lot of Sarit Center in Nairobi.
The Inspector General of Police, or his most senior representative, the Director of Criminal Investigations, or his most senior representative, do appear before this court on 20th of November 2023 at 10 a.m.
So they abducted him, went with the petitioner, and so the first petitioner was left there, and they left.
The third respondent, my lord, because this is where this matter was reported. They have answers to this particular matter, and if they don't have, that is the reason IPOA is also part of this matter.
The owners of the law are hereby directed to supply the first petitioner or the legal team and to the court CCTV footage for November 10th covering the events surrounding the abduction and the movement of the petitioner as well as the motor vehicle.
Now, in other news, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, has released an employment audit report revealing that 80% of jobs across all 47 counties are concentrated among 10 tribes, including Kalenjin, Kikuyu, Luya, and Luo. The audit assessing the diversity of the county public service indicates only 13 out of 47 counties adhere to the national recruitment policy. With a total county workforce of 184,876, women dominate at 53%, while employees with disabilities represent 1.14%. The report underscores the significant imbalance in job opportunities, with the specified 10 tribes securing 80% of county employment, leaving 29 other tribes with only a 1% share in job recruitment across the devolved units.
Pokot County, in 2016, they were very compliant, very compliant, 49.1% at that time. But today, they have 91.45% of the dominant tribe taking up all the jobs in this county.
Now, just imagine that, and because of time, we won't go through all the counties, but allow me just to pick up an analysis that you can look at. If you look at the improved counties, Nairobi was at 11%, right? That was the highest, right? Remember that? Now look at the worst regress. What's the percentage? 42%. Look at the list of regressions. Let me just summarize this. 36 counties actually did regress back. And look at the rate of regression. Nairobi is the highest, most improved at 11%. West Pokot is 42%, 34%, 32%. Average is, even the mid ones are 11, 14. They're still way higher than Nairobi, which has improved.
If the governor says that I must employ people from the same tribe, then I will employ them rather than lose my job. That is a quote from one of the County Public Service Board chairpersons. And, it really gives us the realities of the day. But is it is it a justification to the impunity we are seeing here?
And lastly, women who are ready to start a family have been advised to seek medical assessment before they get pregnant to minimize giving birth to premature babies and cases of early births. Dr. Roslyn Malangachi, a pediatrician working at Kakamega General Hospital, said that in the health facilities, medics will check for chronic illnesses among other predisposing factors and give them some supplements that will ensure the pregnancy is safe from congenital problems with the baby. Speaking in Kakamega as the globe marks World Prematurity Day, Dr. Malangachi noted that the biggest challenge in Western Kenya that increases the cases of premature babies is that some mothers only attend one antenatal care and fail to turn up for the others until they give birth. She said other risk factors for premature babies noted in Western Kenya include multiple pregnancies, where women give birth to twins, triplets, and sometimes quadruplets and quintuplets, since the babies compete for limited space in the uterus, leading to preterm deliveries.
Pregnancy, get assessed by the healthcare workers. Anytime you realize that you're pregnant, also seek medical attention as quickly as possible. Now, during those assessments, they are going to ask or do a few investigations. Of course, they are going to take your history and physical examination. There are some tests that should there be a risk for delivering early. We have an intervention called antepartum steroids. Again, this is one of the key messages that is being given out in this World Prematurity Day of 2023, that we are going to give antenatal steroids for mother at risk of preterm delivery. Now, these steroids are given to the baby. You're talking about dexamethasone to help in mature the lungs. Remember, this baby, akiwa kwa tumbo, when they're in the uterus, they don't breathe. All the exchange of gas, all the breathing is done through the placenta by the mother. When they come out and they are not mature enough, they're not able to breathe by themselves. And therefore, if you anticipate that this lady is going to deliver prematurely, within 48 hours, you're supposed to give antenatal steroids to assist the baby be able to breathe early. So that we can mitigate the use of the continuous positive airway pressure, the CPAP machine. We talk about kangaroo mother care. We talk about putting a baby who has been born prematurely, that is before 37 completed weeks, in between the mother's breasts, and this baby is only dressed in a diaper, has socks and a cape. The reason for this kind of positioning is that when the baby has been born prematurely, they do not have enough subcutaneous tissue, and it means that they are not able to control their own temperature. So they tend to lose temperature, and we know that we are not having enough equipment in terms of incubators. So KMC has been studied for a very long time, and it has been shown that babies who have been put in between the mother's breast, they are able to control their temperature because they are deriving heat from the mother. The baby is able to feed on demand because they are in close connection with the mother, and also enhances bonding between the baby and the mother. That presence of the baby in between the mother's breast also psychologically helps the mother in terms of improvement in milk production. And thereby we find that babies in kangaroo mother care positioning tend to gain weight faster and have less occurrences of difficulties or forgetting to breathe, and therefore they tend to go home further. They tend to go home earlier. When you look at some of the recommendations from the World Health Organization and even Kenya as a country, when you're talking about the high impact interventions that need to be taken into account, KMC features as one of them. Because we recognize that in our country and any other third world countries, we have limited resources.
Well, that's all we had for you on 1 p.m. news, but we will see you at 4 p.m. with the weekly news roundup. But of course, keep it Science TV. We have great shows lined up for you as we continue with the day. This is Chris Mololo. Tobias Omondi has been our sign language interpreter. We wish you a good afternoon. Bye for now.